Have you ever wondered why, despite knowing something is destroying your life, you still keep going back to it? Whether it's scrolling endlessly through your phone at night, drinking more than you should, smoking when you promised yourself you'd quit, or staying in toxic patterns that hurt your health and your relationships. Why do we find ourselves trapped in addictions? Before we dive in, I want to invite you to subscribe to this channel and like this video. Make sure you watch until the very end, because what you're about to hear could genuinely change your love life, your self-control, and the way you see yourself forever. Now let me take you back to a story, The Pull of Pleasure. Imagine a young man in ancient Rome. His name is Marcus, not Marcus Aurelius yet. Not the emperor, but just a man. Every evening he would sit with his friends at a tavern. They would drink, laugh, and chase pleasures until the night faded away. But with every passing day, Marcus realized that these nights left him weaker, not stronger. His mind grew foggy, his energy drained, and his ability to focus on what truly mattered slipped away. He was chasing something that promised happiness but always left him emptier. Doesn't that sound like us today? Addictions disguise themselves as pleasure. They whisper, "This will make you feel good. Just one more time." But the one more time never ends. Whether it's substances, habits, or even people, we're pulled back in. And here's where Stoicism comes in, with a clarity that is timeless. Lesson number 1, recognize the trap. The Stoics taught us to see things as they are, not as we wish them to be. Epictetus once said, "When you are tempted, do not be carried away by the impression. Stand firm, wait, and see the thing clearly." Think about this. When you crave that cigarette, that drink, or that late night message to someone you know is bad for you, are you really seeing the thing clearly? Or are you only seeing the illusion? A man who keeps texting his ex knows deep down she's not coming back, yet the rush of sending that message feels like hope. But Stoicism asks us, strip away the illusion. What are you actually doing? You are giving away your power to something outside yourself. The first step in breaking free from addiction is brutally honest recognition. Naming the trap, seeing it for what it is without excuses, without self-deception. Lesson number 2, control what you can. Addictions thrive because we focus on what's outside our control. I can't stop because I'm weak. I can't change because it's in my nature. These are lies we tell ourselves. The Stoics divided life into 2 things, what you can control and what you cannot. You can't control the craving that appears in your mind. That craving will show up whether you like it or not, but you can control your response. You can control whether you pick up the bottle or walk away. You can control whether you light the cigarette or take a deep breath instead. Addiction dies when response becomes stronger than impulse. I remember reading about a man who struggled with gambling. He lost thousands, destroyed his marriage, and nearly lost his life to despair. What finally helped him wasn't trying to erase the cravings. It was reminding himself every day, the craving is not me. It is a visitor. I choose whether to feed it or let it starve. That's Stoicism in practice. Lesson number 3, delay the impulse. The Stoics often practice delaying gratification. Seneca wrote that true freedom comes when you can say no to yourself. Here's a practical story. A woman addicted to sugary food decided to follow a Stoic exercise. Instead of saying, "I'll never eat sugar again," which felt impossible, she told herself, "I'll wait 15 minutes before I take the bite." Sometimes the craving passed, sometimes it didn't. But every time she delayed, she proved to herself that she wasn't a slave. Imagine applying this in your love life. Instead of sending that desperate text at 2 a.m., wait 15 minutes. In that time, breathe, journal, read a page of Marcus Aurelius. You'll realize that most of the things you think you must do in the heat of craving lose their power if you give them time. Lesson number 4, train the mind daily. Addictions don't vanish with one decision. They fade when you train your mind like a muscle. The Stoics believed in daily practice, reminders, reflections, self-examination. Marcus Aurelius wrote his meditations not for the world but for himself. It was his way of keeping his mind disciplined. Each night he would write, "Today I gave in to anger. Today I resisted temptation. Tomorrow I will do better." Ask yourself, are you training your mind against your addiction every day, or are you only reacting when you fall into it? One modern man I read about used Stoic journaling to fight alcohol. Every morning, he wrote one reason why drinking harmed his life, and one reason why sobriety gave him strength. Over months, those small reminders rewired his brain. He wasn't just fighting against alcohol, he was fighting for himself. Lesson number 5, the power of role models. The Stoics often asked, "What would a wise man do?" This question changes everything. Think about your addiction. Now ask, what would Marcus Aurelius do in this moment? What would Epictetus, a man who was once a slave and endured incredible suffering, choose? Would he pick the fleeting pleasure or the lasting strength? One of the most powerful tools against addiction is modeling yourself after someone you admire. If you're tempted to give in, pause and ask, am I living in a way that my future self would admire? A young man struggling with pornography once shared that he overcame it by imagining his future children asking him, "Dad, what did you do when you were younger?" He wanted to answer with pride, not shame. That image became stronger than his craving. That's Stoic visualization at work. Lesson number 6, embrace discomfort. Here's a truth the Stoics knew well. Addiction is often just an escape from discomfort. We drink to avoid loneliness, we smoke to avoid stress, we scroll to avoid silence. But what if instead of running we embrace discomfort? Epictetus said, "Difficulties show a man to himself." When you feel the craving, sit with it. Feel the anxiety, the emptiness, the tension. Don't run, don't escape. Let the wave pass through you. Every time you endure discomfort, you grow stronger. This applies deeply to relationships too. How many people jump from one toxic partner to another just because they can't stand being alone? But if you can embrace solitude, you won't fall into the addiction of unhealthy love. Lesson number 7, redefine pleasure. The Stoics didn't hate pleasure, they just put it in its right place. They believed true pleasure comes from self-mastery, not indulgence. Think of two men. One spends his nights drinking, chasing women, wasting money. He laughs loudly, but inside he feels hollow. The other wakes early, trains his body, reads, reflects, spends time with people who uplift him. His pleasure is quieter, but it's deeper, lasting, and dignified. Addictions promise pleasure, but they leave scars. Stoicism shows that real pleasure is freedom, the ability to look at yourself in the mirror and say, I am not a slave to anything. Lesson number 8, Memento Mori. Finally, the most powerful Stoic reminder, Memento Mori. Remember that you will die. Think about it. If today was your last day, would you want to spend it feeding an addiction? Would you want to be remembered as someone who couldn't control his desires, or as someone who rose above them? A man on his deathbed doesn't crave another cigarette. A woman near the end doesn't wish she had scrolled more on her phone. They wish for freedom, for love, for meaning. That's what Stoicism pushes us toward, the awareness that life is short, and every moment wasted in addiction is a moment stolen from the life you could live, bringing it all together. So how can Stoicism help you overcome bad addictions? Number 1, recognize the trap. See things as they are. Number 2, control what you can. Your response is always in your power. Number 3, delay the impulse. Freedom begins with waiting. Number 4, train the mind daily. Discipline is built, not found. Number 5, look to role models. Live as your future self would admire. Number 6, embrace discomfort. Let pain strengthen you instead of running from it. Number 7, redefine pleasure. Seek mastery, not slavery. Number 8, remember death. Life is too short to waste on chains. Every addiction wants you to believe you are powerless. Stoicism reminds you that you are stronger than your cravings, stronger than your impulses, stronger than your temporary desires. Your love life will change when you free yourself from destructive habits. Your relationships will deepen, your confidence will grow, and you'll finally discover that the greatest love is self-respect. The choice is yours. Will you remain chained or will you walk free? With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.